Hello, my beautiful earth angels. My name is Joanna the healer. These are going to be your messages for the month of April and a little bit of May. This is the new format. So what I will do is I will give a general message for all the water signs, and then I have specific information at the end for each individual signs. And this is the second element that I am doing, so you are my second element. The first one, I loved the flow. So I hope I'm trying something new as it was suggested to me by spirit guidance. So let me know if you like this format. I like it a lot. And anyway, I'm not gonna over explain it. You will let me know whether you like it or not. Also, just because you are primarily a water sign or your sun sign is a water sign, that doesn't mean that you don't have any houses in fire sign or in air or in earth. So, but if that's your predominant element, then chances are quite likely that you will experience what it is that I'm talking about in the next couple of months, so April and May. Before I shoot off with the message, which I feel like I just want to move through very quickly, I'm just going to turn down the music. For those of you who have joined the private Facebook page, Team Joanna private Facebook page, private forum, thank you so much. If you haven't yet and would like to be part of very supportive private community where we all come together and essentially support ourselves, support one another, that information is down below. Okay, let me move on with the message. Yes, my intention, thank you. Some of you are beginning to realize that I'm stating my intentions every single time, and you are implementing that in your life, and you find it very useful because it helps you be focused and therefore, shoot with a straight arrow on what your intention is. And when the intention isn't clear, we often have a tendency to be all over the place because we don't know where we're going. So my intention with these messages is basically to support you as you go through these times, and these are very transitional times, and this is the messages are very reflective of that. So my aim is to support you in this transitional journey, transformational journey, by giving you information that can ultimately help once it's applied. However, I cannot make anything for you. I cannot do anything for you. That is out of my jurisdiction, so to speak. So I do hope that this is helpful. If this does not make sense to you at the very beginning of April, chances are it will. Listen to it towards the end of April, even towards the end of May, because the energy, I feel this is going to continue for more, obviously, than just a month. But I have a feeling like 99% of you will understand what it is that's coming through, because also how it's going to come through. Okay, without further ado, what is this month, April, and a bit of May, let's say 6 weeks or so, representing for you? Interestingly enough, what I feel predominantly for you is that many of you will have either the opportunity to take a rest, take a break, or you have been taking a break because you had to for obvious reason. And but this break, whatever this is, to me it's being shown like you are sleeping soundly. What does that mean? It means you're not having bad dreams, you're not flopping all over the bed, you are having a peaceful, restorative sleep, which tells me that you are within yourself much more relaxed. So for one, don't be surprised if you are more sleepy than normal. That's actually a really good sign. It's a sign that something internally is shifting, and that shift is reflected in the way you feel. So when we sleep, our subconscious mind has the opportunity to dig through various piles of SHIT and to release it through dreams. So if you are dreaming a lot, perfect. Some of your dreams may be fun, some of them may be scary, some of them you will have no idea what it's about. What I would suggest is take a piece of paper, put it next to your bed, and note the things that you are dreaming about, or at least the themes that are coming through, because these themes are indicative of what you are working through as you're sleeping and as you dream. So for the most part, dreams are very, what's the word I want to use, please? They're not, the word just escaped me. Dreams are metaphoric, so they're not literal. Sometimes they're literal, but more often than not, they are that word that I said. I forgot that word. Metaphorical. Thank you. It's like trying to fit a square into a circle. Anyway, by the way, if you're trying to fit a square into a circle, in other words, if you're trying to make a situation fit that is not designed to fit, you're wasting your time. And that's a message for someone, whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's something you're trying to make work, but it isn't working. If that's the case, chances are there is something better for you. So however this hits you, this message now or later, you will know exactly what it means. So the next little while feels like it's actually, interestingly enough, more peaceful. And I feel that we are, I hate to say these words, but it's like we got used to the fact that something not great is going on. And even though it's not great what's happening, we are becoming we're adapting to it. And as we adapt to it, we begin to relax more into it, because there is, even though there is fear in the air, there is also a harsh reality that this is what's going on and there is no way in escaping it. And the word acceptance comes in, and I'm just going to jump a little bit. The word acceptance is actually, pardon me for that noise, a power message that came through when I asked, show me, what is this all about? And the moment I said that, this particular card, which is acceptance, flew out of the deck. So either it is your acceptance of what's happening. Remember, acceptance does not mean giving up. Acceptance simply, it means accepting what is for now, because for now, in this instant, there is no other option. The only option you have is how you look at it. But if you do not accept what's happening, whether it's globally or in your life, then it's very difficult to do anything about it, to fix it, so to speak. So, and there are some choices that some of you will be blessed with as a result of this change. And even though the energy feels very transformational, I have a little bit of anxiety about it, but at the same time, there is this internal power that wants to surge right through me. So when this is all said and done, we will all be in a different place. There is no way of denying that. Some people will experience it much more profoundly, and some people will not experience it as profoundly. If you are listening to this, chances are you are allowing yourself to go through this powerful change because, well, for one, you've chosen to be here, at least on the non-physical level, but it's also because you understand the purpose of what it is that's going on. And essentially it's Gaia, Mother Earth, clearing herself, and your life will be affected as a result. Some people will be affected more than others. Some people will be affected in the most tragic ways. They will lose a loved one. And as awful as that is, these souls who are leaving Mother Gaia are have chosen to have this experience. So let's not make the death of those souls be in vain. Let's use that as an opportunity to try something different, to do something different. If there were no casualties in terms of death or losing life, we would not pay much attention. That is what makes us pay attention. So we are in very, very interesting times. And of course, the entire energy will affect you. The words that came up for you is emotional responsibility. And I thought about it for a moment, and I asked, what is it that you are trying to say to, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces? And the message I received was emotional responsibility. What is meant by emotional responsibility is to know and to be mindful of what each and every one of us is actually responsible for when it comes to emotions. Many of us try to take care of other people's emotions. We try to make it better. We try to make it fit. We try to fix other people's problems. We're trying to make other people feel better. And the reality is we cannot. The only thing that we can do is to make ourselves feel better, to be responsible for how we feel. Now, that does not mean that we do not take care of other people when they are on the dumps and need emotional support. Not at all. This is more about, there's a couple of things. It's for some of you, it's about recognizing patterns, existing behaviors that stem from feeling not enough, and as a result needing to overcompensate by being almost too helpful to other people. That is how we gain value. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. But when we rely on doing things for other people, fixing things for other people, being responsible for other people's emotions, when we rely on that, then that means we within ourselves do not have our own inner stability. And that means we within ourselves are not very strong. And when we are not very strong and something happens, we tend to be swayed in various different directions. In other words, we don't feel as resilient when things come up. And right now things are coming up. So with this energy, certain patterns, if you will, certain weaknesses in your belief systems and your thinking will be exposed. And some of those beliefs are responsible for you having an anxiety, you not being able to rest. So whatever this time is creating for you in your particular life, by clearing some old energies, old meaning things you have outgrown, aspects of yourself you have outgrown, and allowing yourself through acceptance to let go of what no longer serves you. And if there are things that have not been serving you for a while, chances are the universe is supporting you in finally letting that go. Now, sometimes letting go of things is as difficult as denying one a habit. What does a habit do? Habit fulfills a certain purpose. It emotionally fulfills something that we feel is missing. So if you have a habit of being responsible for how other people feel, then I feel at this time in particular, some of these things will be exposed. Okay? On the other hand, part of the message is that it is your responsibility to learn and manage how to feel. What do I mean by that? When we are surrounded by chaos and fear, it is very easy to go in the same direction because there's so much focus that goes into it. And if we are not stable in our own selves, we will have a tendency to be swept by that current. So at this time, again, more than ever, there is an opportunity to form new beginnings by exposing the way you feel and the way you think, and become aware and understand of how you work on a deep subconscious level. Because that awareness will give you the key that will open the next door that you will be going through. So that's obviously a metaphor. And to me, this is basically spelling out to me, right now, whatever is happening is creating an opportunity for you to try something different, to do something different, for some new door to be open. But in order for that door to be visible to you, you have to be in the same vibrational frequency. Let's use that. So let's look at it this way. If you have been in a job that you've hated for a very long time, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's coming through, and you have been laid off, you may look at it as an opportunity that the universe is giving you in order to focus on something that's different and new. And by being laid off, for example, you're getting the extra kick, right? So you can use that as an opportunity to find something different. On the other hand, you may be one of those people who hated their job, but now that you do not have a job, now you go, oh my God, I wish I had that job. It makes you be more appreciative of what you have. Now, we've talked about this before many, many times. Appreciation is like a glue for attracting good into our life. That's just the way it is. So use this time to either shift and change and allow yourself to be open to other opportunities, or begin to appreciate what it is that you do have. And I've been in a place where I woke up every morning and I didn't want to be where I was at. And I finally said, okay, God, okay, put me out of my misery. And a few months later, the job was taken away from me. And it was like, okay, that's not how I would have designed it, but here it is. And life forced me, well, it didn't force me. I mean, yes, a little bit. I struggled a little bit. But ultimately, I decided, okay, if life is telling me and creating the space for me to do this that I do for you right now, then I might as well take advantage of it. And at least I owe it to myself to try it. And if I try it and it doesn't work, then at least I've tried it. And of course, each and every one of you will interpret this very differently. This could be a job, this could be a type of a relationship, this could be a health regime, it could be anything, literally anything. We're in a space right now where tremendous pressure is applied in terms of what we do and how we do it. And certain habits are being uprooted right now, and this time, more than any time, we are able to bring our stuff into our awareness. By having awareness, we begin to have choices. So, acceptance is key in the next, let's say, couple of months. Again, acceptance isn't giving up. Acceptance is accepting what it is for now, knowing that it can always change later. But the moment, here's what happens when we accept something. When we accept a situation or a feeling or whatever it is, we stop our inner fight. We're not fighting against it. The fighting against it is called resistance, is what gives us difficulties. So accepting allows the fight to cease, and as a result, your energies are used for the purpose of creating something versus for the purpose of fighting what you are not wanting to accept. Apparently you have a decision to make, or a few choices that will come up. And remember, this is a transitional time for everybody. For everybody. This has been coming for months. We all know it. And you will be able to afford a different situation. I'm saying the word afford because it is connected to money. So for many of you, this is an opportunity or offering of something that has monetary value. So a job, usually we consider these things as job, something that's physical. Financial, let's put it that way. Focus, intensity. Okay, here's a phrase that came through that I thought was very interesting. There is a choice that comes, there is what did I write here? There is a choice that comes with acceptance. And I had to think about that. What does that mean? There is a choice. There is a choice that comes with acceptance. I guess when we begin to accept something, then we have the choice to move on. When we don't accept something, we're not taking the choice. We're not making the choice to move on. Okay, that makes sense to me. There is a choice that comes with acceptance. So see how this applies in your life. There may be some situations that will make sense of this. All right. Now, Cancer. For you guys, the Ace of Wands came up. Now it's interesting because I am not a tarot reader. For those of you who know, I see pictures. Sometimes I say a meaning that happens to be just like the regular tarot, but that's not how I work. To me, it indicates a new beginning. A new beginning as a result of something ending. And it does to me denote career choice. It could be a relationship. But this is something that is, here's what I hear, a soul commitment. A soul commitment. Whatever that means to you. I don't want to overinterpret this. So for Cancers, there seems to be a new opportunity as a result of some sort of an ending. This could be an opportunity in an existing relationship where conditions change, and because of such, the relationship will change. So it'll be the same relationship, but it will be starting like new, on a new footing. But generally, this represents career choices. For most of you, I feel this is a gift that comes with this time. It is a gift of something ending to make room for something new to begin. And I just hear the word choices. Again, the idea of emotional responsibility comes in here. So if you are not happy with yourself, or if you're not happy with your job and now your job is ending, now be emotionally responsible and ask yourself what it is that I want to feel, or what is it that I would want to do that would make me feel in a certain way. And each and every one will have a very, very different answer. So there seems to be career, and then for some of you, relationship oriented. For Scorpios, this was interesting because 2 cards came up. Wasn't expecting that. Again, watch my expectations. The Chariot in reverse and the 8 of Swords in reverse. Notice there's a lot of blue here. So there's a lot of throat chakra going on. I feel for most of you who are a Scorpio sign, you may feel like there is a lack of drive for you. And it's the word independence comes in. So for some of you, you are working with an aspect of you that is trying to assert itself in terms of independence. And there are some fears around that. What could this mean? Some of you may be fearful that this situation will expose something that will ultimately change something in your life or make something come to an end. And whatever that is, I feel there's a panic around it. But it's not necessarily because it's going to happen. It's because you fear it might happen. And that's because, again, this transitional energy is bringing stuff up from aspects of you that haven't healed. The idea of abandonment comes through. So if you have any challenges around abandonment, fearing loss, fearing rejection, around this time, it will. I feel that it'll come up. It has a potential to come up a lot. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. It just means your fears are going to be activated. For Pisces, I hear the word stuck with this 2 of Coins in reverse. And there is some indecision. Should I go back? Should I stay? Should I go back? Should I stay? I feel for some of you, this situation that's going on globally, I'm not going to give it a name, if you are alive, you know what I'm talking about. It this time has put you in a position where you don't know what to choose, or you are being forced to choose. Now, if you're forced, then it's not a choice, is it? So that's interesting, forced to choose. This could be, for some of you, not many, your company basically says, hey, you know, we're taking this time to basically just say we no longer need you. And maybe they haven't needed you for a long time, but for some reason it just didn't come about, and now with everything happening, it's just the right opportunity in the right time. For some of you, I feel like you will be retiring early. And retirement doesn't necessarily mean you go home and sit and do nothing. Not at all. Retirement to me means you're closing a certain door on things you have to do, and then you open yourself on things you want to do. So there is a change here that's being implied. Obviously, not everybody is going to retire, but there's some choice that's being indicated here, and there's a formality with it, which means it's not what shoes am I going to buy. It indicates something more than that. So it's their relationship. Most of you, this is going to be in terms of work or job. And if this is a job for you or a work situation, I hear the words, it's time to be your own lead. It's time to lead. It's time to be your own lead or your own leader. If you have been shying away from expressing your leadership quality, if you have been told gazillion times that you are a good leader and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about, and you're having some difficulties now with work, or some transitional things are happening, then it's time to put on the hat of being a leader, no longer to shy away from it. Whenever I see the vulture, this is for everyone. This is for the entire element of water. Vulture to me, vulture is purifying. This is, of course, goes without saying, a time of, I would say, extreme purification. Not only is Mother Gaia purifying herself because she has been subjected to a lot of use and abuse, and it happens on on Earth, and it also affects us. So it's happening globally and it's happening individually, and each person will experience this in a very different way. But there is an energy of purification. Cleaning up is never fun. I don't know too many people who like to clean. Some do. Absolutely, some do. They just enjoy cleaning up after other people. But generally, it's not something you pick because you love what to do. So what I'm trying to say here in a very long way is the process of purification isn't always pretty. Sometimes it gets dusty. Sometimes you cough because there's so much dust. Sometimes, it just exposes some things you haven't seen in a while. And that's just part of purification. And the reason why we are being purified is because there is too much gunk, too much stagnation, too much stagnant energy, too much negativity, too much focus on fear. It's not that we are completely leaving fear away. I do not believe that you can be a human being and not have the primal fear of protecting your life. You can be, I believe, I could be wrong, you can be a pretty enlightened individual. If you see a lion getting at you and it just appears, chances are you're going to react with fear, at least at first. It's just a prime. That's our body. That's our intelligence of our body, that it needs to preserve itself. So I'm not talking about getting rid of that fear, but what I'm talking about is not focus on fear. And I think we all know that right now there is heavy focus on fear. So this is a really interesting time to get to know ourselves. And at the end of the day, this card of prosperity tells me this. Your prosperity begins within. When you recognize your own value, when you accept your own value, you begin to vibrate differently. Your entire body, your entire system begins to shift and change. As a result of that, you become a magnet to like frequency. So whatever is happening on the outside, it is giving us the opportunity to go look deep within. Because whatever it is that we are searching for, chances are that's where we'll find it. I'm going to share with you what Mother Gaia said to me yesterday. I said, how can we help you? And she said to me, just be yourself. And I realized what she was saying. She says few things that are massively big. And what she was saying is, just be you. Not the fearful you. Not the anxious you. Not the one that needs to try to be better. Not the one that needs to fit to belong. Because none of those aspects are you. Those are illusions. The you, the real you, the true you, your truth, is that you are love. So all you have to do is just be that love. Radiate it out of every single pore, every single cell in your body. And that is how you will help Mother Gaia. Because when you radiate love, you attract love. Love is very nurturing. So within a loving relationship where there is respect, there is give and take. Mother Gaia does not mind that we take, but she asks us to replenish, to give back. That's the message from Mother Gaia. I do hope that this was of help. Again, thank you so much for giving me your time. Let me know how you like this new format. I actually really enjoy it. If you would like to have a healing with me, I'm being really focusing on healing right now. This is what the world needs. That information is down below for you. And I do look forward to your comments. And yes, if you can click like, subscribe, or the bell button to notify you when I will be releasing new videos. I would love for you to do that as well. And with that said, of course, if you would like to get a hold of me personally for a private session, that information is below. Thank you again so much, and I look forward to see you soon.